You're good?
Here we are. We're back on Hivemind.
It's Hivemind. Today we're doing what are we doing? A little conversation about some bubbling underground hip hop and rap artists.
Bracket busters.
Some people that there'll be some crossover from the Double XL talk we had. But,
sure. But you like looking at us.
Yeah. And so we're just going to talk about some other people that we think are going to have good years, but might not be in the...
Or some of our just favorite rappers and guys in hip hop that maybe don't even really qualify for Double XL freshmen, but that we're trying to turn you on to.
Yeah, for sure. You want to give them a first one, Graydon? Who are you excited about?
Yeah, it's a crossover, but it's someone I'd like to talk about a little more is Draco the Ruler.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's big on the scene. I just love his style. The deadpan flow is really super entertaining for me. It allows him to get a lot of shit out. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it gives a lot of personality. I love that. All over that tape, I feel like it's just like...
It's fun to listen
it's fun to listen to, and like you kind of think of him as like he's cold in a lot of the stuff that he's saying, but then he's just like he's funny and like an entertaining dude. You just get like a good sense of who he is kind of from that tape.
He's saying like with the deadpan flow, he's saying, you know, like the hardest shit and then the funniest shit in the same tone. Mm-hmm. So like it can blend, like you can just listen to it or you can really like listen to it.
Yeah, and that's how I had compared him a little bit as it's like to early 21 Savage in the Double XL video. I think that is just like the listening appeal is similar. Like you like to hear all that dark, grimy shit, but 21 Savage is funny. I'm listening to funny bars, especially now, like definitely, on big songs. Someone I'm excited about too from the West Coast is Buddy. He
get me hip. I'm not too hip.
Yeah, he had an EP out last year. He had some really cool songs on there. I know he's tight with like Sid from the internet. He had like a Wiz Khalifa feature on the tape. He's like really rapping, but he's got kind of like his production choices are really interesting. He has K Tronada doing some of it, and it's just like big bassy, like elastic bass sounding. But he spits fast, and he's got a lot of personality too. I'm excited to see what he does this year. I don't think he's in the pool for Double XL. So,
someone who's definitely not in the pool for Double XL, but that I really have enjoyed is Loyle Carner.
Oh yeah,
who's just did a song with Tom Misch. Shout out Tom Misch, big fan there. Mm-hmm. Loyle's based out of the UK, I think London. It's just the obvious guess. He's like bringing an aspect of kind of like introspective, more like dialogue rap to like we as Americans, like we always look to the UK and just think grime, like P Money's sweet and Wiley's really cool, but Loyle's like a guy coming out of the UK who's comparable to like J. Cole and like he's introspective and he's just talking like personal stories, which is really cool to me. I like his stuff a lot.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know too much about him. I've heard his name a few times.
I think Meet Me in the Morning is his album that came out last year, and that front to back has big listenability for me. Like it's just really smooth. It's great smoking and hanging out kind of album.
Yeah. Someone I'm excited about that's like a little bit on the meme side, like kind of funny, is lilbootycall. He has one video. I mean, he has one video, Sailor Moon, that's like one of my favorite videos of last year.
A lot too.
And I know that his fan base is only growing. I've been following him on like Twitter and everything, but he has like dedicated fans that remind me of like, I don't know, like Lil Xan's fans or something. Just like they seem younger, but they like funny.
They're about the music.
Funny hip hop, and his production choices are interesting. His personality is interesting. I think once he gets kind of a bigger platform, I'm really interested to see what he does with his sound. I'm real interested in that guy. I think he'll be cool.
Staying in the meme realm, I know he's in the pool, but I'd be really surprised if he got it. Savagerealm.
Yeah, Savagerealm.
One, like, the guy actually came up on a meme page. Like, he wasn't doing music first. Like, he gained all his fans and things through curating, like, internet comedy. And then he's, like, kind of burst onto the scene. And at first, people were like, oh, these are just joke songs. Like, I feel like people were digesting in the same way they, like, heard, like, Bitch, I Beat My Meat for the first time. They're like, oh, this is a joke, but hold on, wait. Like, he might actually you know, he's got the means now. He's good friends with Roy Purdy. He's hanging out with No Jumper all the time. He's around other musicians, and if it's something he wants to do, I think he has the opportunity.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what he does musically. I haven't heard that much. I just know the meme page. I just like Savagerealm, but
yeah, it's a great page.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
funny.
a big fan of that
that's
page.
Funny.
Like, that's a great meme page, and he's really loyal to his fans, and his fans are really loyal to him. I know he's got some hilarious merch dropping like this week or next week called Medium Waffle, which is just like a phrase that he got trending, and his fans were posting it everywhere. He's got a separate like account for it that's got a ton of followers now.
Yeah,
and it's literally just nothing. Like, he's just created it with his own energy. So that alone is pretty cool.
Yeah, totally. Someone that we've talked about a bunch before, but we haven't mentioned in any of these videos, is Masego.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's probably past his time to be a XXL freshman. He's just been around for so long, and it's not really generating the type of buzz that XXL really picks up on, or like that their fans will pick up on. But he's just awesome. He's getting his biggest numbers now, and so.
Well, yeah, he toured with Gold Link.
Yeah, he was opening the Gold Link tour.
Right on like the end of, or like right as Gold Link like got the big radio hit.
Crew,
with Crew, and so he, I think, got optimized exposure for that tour, which was really cool. And if you're not hip to Masego, he's Virginia Beach artist who is a saxophonist, first of all, I'd like to say.
Yeah, probably like a,
And then
it's the thing that makes
he's a producer
unique,
and a great vocalist. He's a really good vocalist. And so he's kind of like one of these tricks of all the trades guys. Like, we saw him last year in Detroit.
I wasn't there for that, but I saw him this year on the Gold Link tour.
I saw him before the Gold Link tour at a small electronic venue in Detroit, and it was very intimate. Like, we walked right in, like, dapped him up. He was sitting right there. And I remember at the time being like, oh, he's not going to be doing these kind of shows for long. But even at that show, he was like, showed signs of like inexperience. He was just playing around, and like the carefree and spontaneity of his set was
spontaneity.
Yeah, there you go. Was like, it wasn't a flaw, and that's something that can work against people if they don't have the raw talent. And he was kind of up there like, hey, I want to try a song out with you guys, and people like were fucking with it, like really liked it, and he's continued to do cool stuff.
Audience participation was present at like an early stage in his career. And I'll say, from seeing him on the Gold Link tour, I mean, he just blew me away. Like, I enjoyed his set much more than I enjoyed Gold Link's set, and that's no dig against Gold Link. It was just a great. Masego had people moving in that place, and I don't think that most of the crowd knew who he was before they showed up. So I mean, it was just cool to see him have that type of crowd control.
Yeah, and if you want to check him out, he's got Pink Polo EP, I think, is like the only project he has out complete for himself. But he also
Medicine produced that. It's a collaboration with Medicine, who's a great producer.
And he also did a collab this last year with FKJ, and the song Tadao is just an absolute banger.
Yeah, it has like that video of FKJ and Masego playing that song has like 7 million views on YouTube or something. It's like something crazy like that. That's sweet. Yeah, Masego's great. I wish the best for that dude. He's got so much enthusiasm. Yeah. It's like something that really I think funny too. Yeah, and I think that lane isn't like taken by anybody right now, you know what I mean? Like it'd be really cool to see him succeed.
He's good at characters. He's always got like characters coming in and out of songs and his stuff, but moving on to another guy. I really like a guy, Aaron Ray, who released a song called We Ain't Homies not too long ago that I got hip through IG. Someone I follow like posted a screenshot of the song, and I checked it out. That song really goes. Everything else he's done prior is really sweet. He's kind of an R&B vocalist. I think he's from Cincinnati.
You said Ohio River.
Yeah, I think he's from like the Ohio River area, so that's really cool. I live in Cincinnati most of the time.
Yeah.
He's really sweet. If that song alone, like, I think speaks for like a potential to have a really big career, because they just remixed that song and put YG on it.
Oh, really?
And so that was like a really big step to That's like sweet. Have success on the song, and then be like, okay, let's put another big artist on it now.
To give it another notch
level.
up. Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, that's sweet. Some dudes that we know but also are excited about. I mean, we'll talk about Phree first. Yeah. Phree, I think he will have a big year. I mean, he drops music kind of like these other dudes do, where it's just like, you know, like Lucy songs all the time with like stock photos as the art. Like, it's not like, I don't know, there's something cool about that energy or whatever. But Ugly God recently posted one of his songs and said it was really hard, and that helped him He's like almost at 50K on
also
on plays
like
on that song.
reciprocated respect for him through DMs. Like
Yeah.
went even a step further than reposting the songs.
Yeah, he follows him now too. I mean, Phree is like, he's got a big personality, and I mean, it's hard to place like exactly where his sound is going to go because he's experimenting with a lot of different things right now. Yeah. But I mean, I think he has like songs that if he had a platform would already be kind of like hits. Like Know My Vision with Luna, who's a great producer in that Apollo 18 crew. I'd put that crew, honestly, as far as talent and personality, I'd put them up against anybody. It's like right now you got Phree,
Grandace,
and then you've got
just released a tape too, and
Grandace is
amazing.
He's releasing an EP. I actually did the art for the EP. It's coming out soon, and it's amazing. Like, it's way really better than he just released an EP that I like called Colors in the Office, and now he's releasing one called Feel Good that's like his hits. Like, it's really, really good.
A refreshing flow, like clarity, melodies that I feel like a lot of people are not even capable of getting to, just kind of come out of him naturally.
Yeah, and I think fans of like Chance the Rapper and people like that will really like what he has to bring.
Childish Gambino.
Yeah, he's melodic, but we were talking the other day about how his vocabulary is so weird. Like he was rapping in one of these songs, the unreleased ones. He was rapping about like trying to find something at Target, and it said they had it online, and then they didn't have it. So then we checked with Siri, and I went with Alexa. Like, he was just like all over the place telling this like goofy story that's kind of like, you know, anybody can relate to that, but it's just like nothing I've heard before in music. So it's like
hyper contemporary to be wordy, but like that's how I hear him, and I'm like, this is like tomorrow's music, like next week's music.
Totally. Yeah. And so then on top of those two dudes, you've got Deo Gold, who's like
my man.
He's a lyrical, like, you know, a lyrical powerhouse, totally like a rapper's rapper. But
this guy is a gamer when it comes to rap, like an actual student. Like, I've sat with Dayo and like just picked apart Tribe albums, and he's told me, you know, this one line like inspired this whole wave of my work. Like, he was really listening to the classics, but also has an open ear to, I mean, he's in the same collective as a guy like Phree, who like you almost see them as on opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, totally.
But at the same time, it's like their work ethic and energy that kind of makes them work together.
And like, there are songs that have both of them on them, and they can both transform to fit a beat. I mean, Phree can rap like Dayo. Like, Phree can Phree can take a boom bap thing and do it, and Dayo can get on something and vibe it, and something like hype, you know, like, so like Nicotine, like that song has Leo, Phree, and Grandace on it, or Grandace and Dayo. All four of them are on that song. Luna did the beat for that. I mean, that's super cool to see.
And they love getting together. And like, I don't know a lot of other guys we're talking about personally, and I do know these guys personally, so I just have the pleasure of seeing them when they're together. But when they're in a room together, they're not wasting time. They want to work, and they want to push boundaries and combine each other's sounds, and I'm just excited to see what they got coming out.
Yeah, and they're just creative people. Like, they no matter what, it's like just inherent to them that they're gonna be making something at all times.
And they're gonna take risks that other people are afraid to, and they're gonna take a lot of shots and chances that I think is pretty cool.
And they're young dudes, so they got a big careers ahead of all of them, hopefully.
Cincy.
Yeah. Other than that, who
we thinking? Well, Dee Savage is a guy that I know probably won't make the freshman class this year, but I'm excited to see a full-length album from him. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see what his buddy and a guy like Young Weege does once he gets out, because I think I've seen a bunch of Dee Savage stuff, like Free My Man Weege recently, so I think he's caught up in some shit. But once he gets out, that crew, like the whole Sake gang and like those LA guys, I know they're just like embedded with a lot of connections. Like, I know they know Tyler and other guys.
Yeah, they came up with Odd Future. Dee Savage at least did.
I know, like Ian Connor's a big Dee Savage fan. He's
yeah,
always promoting
they're friends.
His stuff, so that's cool, and I'm really excited to see what he has to do, because Dee's like sweet on a track, but he also like he's got like a big chip on his shoulder for a guy coming out of that scene. Like, he kind of it feels like he has something to prove. I can't speak for him, but that's the vibe I always get.
Yeah.
And his visuals are great. Like, that new video for I Know Too just came out, and that's a nice video.
Yeah. Someone who we didn't talk about in the Double XL conversation that might even have a chance to make it, I'm not sure, and it's definitely blowing up a lot this year, is Cupcakke. And so I feel like people who might not listen to like that type of rap, I don't really know what to classify that type of rap as, but she gets compared to like 50 Cent, Ludacris, and Missy Elliott, like that type of thing. She has like really hypersexual lyrics a lot of the time. But I mean, listening to that album, Ephrai's the newest one, I think she has a lot of appeal that isn't reaching certain markets only because she's independent. So she stayed independent all the way through 3 albums. That's like really cool to see, especially in Chicago, you know, like Chance paved the way for that type of thing, I guess. But I think she'll have a big year in getting her name as to be like that next level up where everybody kind of at least knows her name. But that production is really fresh, really modern. I think will appeal to a lot of people. So that's cool to see her kind of like branching out. Check out Wisdom Teeth off that album if you're looking for a new one. Really, really wordy, like really clever lyrics if you like that type of thing. So
a SoundCloud guy that I've been really into over like the last 6 months is Ducey Guevarra.
Okay.
Ducey Guevarra, sorry. It's a long name. It's a big name, but Ducey Guevarra is almost like Suicide Boys kind of vibe. Like very dark, like deep vocals, but he really goes on a lot of like different styles of beats, and I've kind of like followed his progression over the last few months, and I kind of like where he's going, but I can't even put a face to his name. I've never really seen him, but like I don't know where he's at like in terms of trying to get his career out. I don't know if he's just like in his bedroom releasing SoundCloud tracks, or if he's out doing press or anything. But if you watch this Ducey Guevarra, you come on Hivemind and have a whole little chat about it.
Sweet.
He's very hard, like hardcore shit. Like don't go listen to this when you wake up, or you'll have well, maybe that's what you need in the morning. But.
Yeah, maybe you need to wake up. This might even be like, this dude might be too big to talk about in this realm now. Six Dogs. He's really blown up because, I mean, Cole Bennett is doing his videos now, and Cole Bennett mentioned him when they asked him who was going to blow up this year. I think his music's great. He's like an 18-year-old, and he said his new shit is really inspired by like early Cudi. And he's melodic, and he also has like an interesting outlook on not just hip hop but music in general, of like how he wants to move, how he wants to make music, what he like kind of like from a content standpoint, what he wants to include in making music, you know, being personal and like trying not to absorb. I just played Spaceship in the car
and Backflip.
That's in the same song.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Spaceship.
Well, yeah, those tracks, or that track goes, and I haven't heard his whole project, but
you should. Yeah, there's a song on there called Kingdom that I think if he follows that route, it's more melodic. It's like kind of got this like heavy guitar abstract beat.
Another guy I kind of want to give a shout out to that's also on the cusp of being real bona fide is, I think, T Jones.
Oh yeah, T Jones. Yeah,
we can expect new music from him relatively soon. I know he's been putting in like a lot of work, and this is a guy who's got a lot of lyrics. Is a great writer, and
Toledo dude.
He's been working on his own production and making his own beats, which have gotten like really good, could stand on their own, and I know he's got the lyrics to put to it and the attitude and the work ethic. I'm excited for anything.
Yeah, he's really versatile too. Like a lot of people, you can listen to some of his stuff and like people will draw a line from like Wiz Khalifa to him or something, like in the sense that he raps way on top of the beat. It's very like enunciated. You can always tell what he's saying, but at the same time, and he's got, you know, the clever, funny bars, all that type of stuff.
Definitely.
But there's a time like on some of his tracks where he is just like the way he subtly is making his voice more melodic to fit the beat is like really impressive to me and really catchy. So I would love to see him blow up this year. That would be sweet.
Yeah, that would be really exciting.
And he works with, you know, Davidson Baker, and I know I don't want to get the names wrong. Slew is another dude who I think is making some cool shit. And I know that I just told Luna from Apollo 18 that he should be working with T Jones, so I know he's been peeping him out too. So hopefully those people make some connections. That's some
a guy who's gotten some flack for sounding a little too much like a really big guy right now. Trippy Red, to be specific, is Supa BWE.
But isn't it the other way around? Isn't it like Supa's been doing it longer?
I mean, you don't really get that choice. I feel like maybe he has, but Trippy Red's, I mean, on all over the place.
For sure.
And I saw like a screenshot of like a DM conversation that they had back and forth, like, bro, you sound like me, bro, you don't sound like me. And like, it's just fascinating I'm always fascinated with like when Designer came up, like how people like were beefing for Future. Like Future didn't have to come out, but like Future fans would come out and be like,
and other rappers,
other rappers would like claim that they're stealing, but like it's very possible, but that these guys' forms of expression like just so happen to be like similar. Like we're just in a place in time where if that's how they want to sound, like it wouldn't surprise me if they never talked or like never were really directly influenced by each other's music. Like it's the music around them that made them sound like they are. But that tape, Thought Goddess, that's impressive tape.
Yeah, totally. I like a few songs off there for sure. And I definitely think that Soup is a really talented dude. It's just like, that's tough.
It's a tough situation.
It's tough to break that, yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough situation he's in, but his demeanor isn't salt. He's not like, man, like Trippy's doing better than me. Like I need to like
totally
change my style, or people need to like stop fucking with him and only fuck with me because I'm like the real screaming guy. Like he's just kind of, I see tons of videos of him joking around and laughing and like having a good time.
Yeah.
Which is nice to see that he's not like entirely like all this noise, like a lot of beef, like is as serious as like the people, like we make it, like the people like online, like the fans and the listeners like make the beef more serious than it actually is. And so I like to believe that he's not salt and that he's going to keep doing it because they're going to go their different ways. And as they mature and grow up just as people, like they're going to sound more different.
Yeah, totally. It is interesting though when people sound like each other to see kind of where like Designer, I mean, I think it's more the content that made him fall off. There just hasn't been another song, but like,
you also get a Kanye West cosign. You can kind of chill out for a little minute.
A little bit, but I mean, I would say that it's a little bit like he's on the clock. Designer. They're waiting for Designer to do something to kind of like get back to where he was.
I saw a video of him today in like jam traffic in New York, and he just gets out of the car. And he's like walking around like yelling at everybody. He's like, damn, there's traffic. So like he's still got the Designer attitude. Like he's still out there just being funny as hell. And
the other day I saw him too. There was a video going around of him in a grocery store and he takes like the pricing thing or like the, you know, the scanner, the gun scanner thing, whatever. He takes that and he's pointing it at them. He's like, put it in the bag, like after he had paid for it. And it was just like some goofy shit that they were like playing along with. But that almost, I wonder if that's like, to me, that's like, it's good to see him in good spirits and like joking around, of course. But is that like a plea for relevance just based on like the fact that like, you know, Lil Uzi Vert was putting a staple gun to his head and like stapled his head, and Lil Pump's doing stupid shit like yelling on an airplane. Just that those things make people blow up in different ways. So it's like almost a tactic that he could use.
Yeah, but that's like, I don't know, that's like more of like a conspiracy. You guys are young, they're making money, they're in the music industry. I think it's like completely natural for them to be caught doing some wild and shit. I think it's like it's hard for like a manager or like a buddy of these guys to go up to him and be like, oh, you know, it'd be good for you on social media, like if you just went out and started clowning in public. And then to go a step further and like be able to act that out genuinely is kind of unrealistic.
I mean, a little bit. I like to not play too much into the idea that the labels are as big of a machine as everybody thinks they are.
Yeah.
But I have to believe a little bit like that the guys that are signed to Atlantic, like, or something like that, like there's a little bit of something happening in a boardroom where they're like, this is a, you know, like something that will generate buzz. This is something like they have to at least be paying attention to have their finger on the pulse.
Absolutely.
So like, that's the thing is like, I don't think that when Atlantic signs someone like Lil Skies, they don't have to have Skies doing that, because Skies is like really middle ground, will appeal to a lot of people without having to do anything like that.
Yeah.
But I think that they do sign some artists probably who they're like, it makes sense to have Lil Uzi Vert post a video of himself stapling his head, because then tomorrow on Everyday Struggle, they'll talk about it. And tomorrow on this show, they'll talk about it. And so just to have your name be repeated by multiple people brings people to that level. So, I mean, I think that the buzz thing it makes a lot more sense. I wish it wasn't like I want to see those dudes doing that funny shit because that's who they are. Like, and I think a lot of them it is like that. And you know, you see it at a low level. You brought up a good
point. I think the green light or red light is like the final thing. Like if Uzi's like, there's probably 100 videos of Uzi just playing around doing some silly shit.
That's
but
true.
Like it's timing, and it's like, okay, like now's a good, like you did this, like maybe you're being taken too seriously. Here's the green light for that video, like post it now.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like fluidity, like always we're getting genuine stuff from these guys, but Yeah.
Because I try to think of like who's independent and still doing like Ugly God. He's independent, and that I think that's been super powerful for his career because his kind of like line of communication to his fans is like it's direct, and it's him being like, sorry, I haven't put out music in a while, making it perfect. I'm whatever, working really hard on this. I want to do this, blah blah blah. It's cool to see that can still exist, that like you can go a while without Ugly God music.
It's also sick to see that his first car that he bought himself was just a Wrangler.
Oh yeah.
And he went on and he said, I know this isn't like a Rolls, but I didn't rent it. I bought it. I've always wanted a Wrangler, and I'm fucking Ugly God, and this is sick. Like, he bought himself a Jeep and he was stoked for it, and he could have easily been like too big for a Jeep, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I saw that
like
and I was
physically,
like, hell yeah.
Like physically too big for a Jeep.
I was trying to think, I just kind of had this thought, who's the political guy? Like, maybe not in this freshman class, but who right now is like the guy you're looking at that's like the young up and comer who has something to say like politically?
I mean, Joyner Lucas is like the only person I can think of, and I don't like what he's doing. So who knows? I mean, who does Kendrick mess with that's young? Or who does J. Cole mess with that's young? I mean,
I feel like these guys are more like trying to influence the guys on the come up to like either, take their content towards like a more like social dialogue like way, but instead of just like, you don't see the guy coming up now like on the come up who's like criticizing this or like talking
about Trump or like something. Yeah.
Like, I'm cool with the melodic wave and everything, and I like the sounds of everything right now, but I think it's really hard for that guy. Like, let's use someone like Dayo, for example. To like burst through right now being like, I'm the voice that can really like articulate some of these fine points that maybe are like all bothering us or we're all thinking about. Yeah. When it's easier just to be like, almost try and encapsulate that like inside of like a more simple melody.
Yeah. Or like within kind of a different realm of rap. Like, I think a lot of gangster rappers right now are talking that shit about politics, like even like Maxo Cream on that tape. I mean, he says a lot of political shit, or
Trump
at least
and Red Cross acting like hoes.
Yeah, like that type of thing.
Harvey,
and that's like a personal thing for him, but it becomes political like on what he's saying. And I think that G Perico does the same thing. It's like it's just integrated into like a different sound, and I think we'll see more of that. We'll see like somebody who's coming up doing hype songs that has something to say, and then that becomes part
what I'm
of it.
waiting on.
I don't see a lot of it right now, but I don't think that the potential is lost for it. I just think we're in the midst of something that's a little different.
It's kind of pushed it another way. For better or worse, but the game's always going to evolve, baby.
Yeah, it has to.
It's going to keep evolving.
Yeah, for me.
Do you know the Salma Slims?
What?
Salma Slims girl?
No.
She's on Private Club Records, like Made in Tokyo's.
Oh, okay.
She's pretty sweet. She's pretty good. I know she's like, I always see Made in Tokyo like promoting her stuff, and I've listened to her music here and there, like seen nice visuals. Like, she's got a good team behind her. Gunna's a guy I wouldn't mind talking about because he's probably not going to get the freshman nod, but he's got the talent to be legit, and he's already featured with so many big names that I feel like he's definitely already has some respect like from those guys. Like, he's not just buying all those features. He'd have to be
that'd be
rich.
That'd be crazy. Yeah, he's got respect from those dudes. Another person that I just recently found out about that's a Detroit rapper is Geechi. And he's funny. He's like a funny rapper, but he's got that he's definitely would get the respect of like OGs and people. I found him because Danny Brown posted him and said, this is my favorite rapper in Detroit right now. And he was like wearing a chef's hat and rapping some shit that was like pretty funny. So I hope there's a little more buzz around something he does. Maybe he'll do a song with Danny Brown. Who knows? But
you know who should be political? Uno the activist.
Do you think so?
Well, he's the activist.
I think he got asked about that on No Jumper. I'm trying to think of like
he's
what he
definitely
said.
Talking about lean.
I don't think so because it's activists, and I think he just thought it was a funny name. I think that's what he said. Yeah. And he's like Uno. I don't know. I forget what he said, but he should. Yeah.
He definitely gets a big thumbs up for me for having an original name.
Oh yeah, that's totally.
Like, for some reason, it's catchy. Like, I don't know why.
And Ski Mask the Slump God is like. I hope there are more people that are like have those kind of like I love that Ski Mask's new album has like a old like storybook cover is like what it looks like because that's like something he sounds like a fake superhero like an indie movie superhero or something like Ski Mask the Slump God. Like, it's just like goofy.
A lot of these little guys or whatever, like just like when I feel like there's a lack of like effort put into like your moniker or whatever your stage name you want to call it, like you do end up like playing into that in some respects. Like you allow yourself more liberties and freedoms when you have a name like Ski Mask. Like he can do that color or storybook cover and it like carry a greater meaning than like if someone else does it. Like if Lil Xan does it, you're like, oh, that's kind of a cool cover, but like you don't have to think
maybe his record label came up with it. Like that's like what I would think if it wasn't like Ski Mask. I think, yeah, he like lends himself some creative liberty with the name.
Yeah,
like
with the
that.
name. Yeah. Same with Uno and same with other guys with cool names, I think.
Yeah, totally.
That's about all the guys I'd like to turn y'all on to right about now that we're listening to.
Let us know who we forgot though, because we can look
sure.
through your comments and we can find some new people to talk about.
We're here for the music, baby.
There we go.
Fingerless gloves are coming soon. They're not out yet. There's big back order on those.
Big back order. Yeah, we got custom juice boxes. They come in. It's like Capri Sun Roaring Waters.
We drank the juice out of them. But
yeah, they're just empty.